This episode is brought to you in association with Timeform, your trusted source for racing data and analysis. By Total Performance Data, the world leader in thoroughbred performance technology, and by Fitzdares. Good morning, welcome to the final show this week on day 4, the fourth and final day of the Sky Bet York Ebor Festival. Out on the track, probably as nice a morning as it has been all week. Pleasantly warm, little bit of haze. It's quite wet underfoot. I'll get some details of exactly what they've done to the track in a few moments' time. It's quite a heavy dew this morning as well, and I've got the heavy burden of Matt Chapman alongside as well. But thank you, because you're off to do the opening show. So this is going to be short and sweet and succinct. Good morning.
Yeah, and I think in many ways, regular viewers will, and listeners indeed, will think that is the best way to consume me. Short, sweet, like a creme brulee.
You definitely couldn't eat a whole one, that's all I will say. You did well yesterday, because you were quite sweet on Asfoora to win the Coolmore Wootton Bassett Nunthorpe, and that she did. The thing that struck me when I watched it back last night, Matt, was that at no stage did it look like any other horse in the race was going to win. Yeah,
Cruised through the race. I mean, she had that back form. She was a King Charles winner. It was easy to excuse her defeats this season. Goodwood, obviously, the ground was wrong. Ascot was a perfectly reasonable run. But what I loved about this performance and the victory was the fact that the team, both Dwyer and Ashin, told everyone that this horse had really sparkled in work recently. And I don't know about you, but I take work talk with a little bit of a pinch of salt.
Well, especially when they're a 7-year-old mare and they've been round the block a bit. And I know she's Australian, but she's kind of ours now, isn't she?
But Nicholas, you've been round the block a little bit, but there are some days where you sparkle, and there are some days where you just need to be polished a little bit like a, well, you know what?
Yeah, like a diamond.
Exactly, like a diamond. And today, for instance, you've sparkled. You've come here fresh as a daisy on your 4th day of York, because you are the ultimate professional. And Asfoora was just in great condition. I think it's fantastic about when I love the Australians coming here and whipping our backside. It's good for the sport.
Well,
it's
the hope is you might get a few more of them, and that makes the world.
And the other thing is, Nick, away from the 2-year-olds who just weren't up to the task, basically, but away from that, we know this isn't a glorious group of sprinters, and I think that Asfoora is a worthy, dominant sprinter in that division. Worthy.
And she's 7 as well.
Like you're worthy of Broadcaster of the Year every year.
Worthy. Can you just hold my Timeform quick card,
now,
please?
Nicholas, you slightly over-push things sometimes.
To hold my Timeform quick card, because
would you like me to polish your shoes?
Yes, please. I'm going to call Henry Dwyer. Hands
a bit shaky for all that you look fresh.
And see if he picks up. Now, Luca Brooks-Edwards, who's been with us from the Racing Media Academy, you know, for a few months, he said to me at 1:30 a.m, he sent me a message going, Henry will definitely do the podcast tomorrow.
The message said, I'm out on the lash with him.
Yeah, and what chances have I got? It's now 9:15. Nope, look at that. No answer.
Yeah.
Luca, I think you better...
Not so much good day, but goodbye.
Luca, I think you better send him a message. Yeah. Here we go. Here he is.
Good day.
Henry Dwyer. He's come good for us, Matt.
Is he?
Here we go. There he is. Look at him. Morning, Henry.
Fresh for a man who was absolutely lashed a few hours ago. He's fresh.
I don't think you were. I think you were just justifiably partying.
Something like that. Somewhere in between.
How are you feeling this morning? How do you reflect on yesterday?
It's just going through the messages and the WhatsApps and the emails and the Twitters and the Instagrams. It's there's been a bit going on, so just getting back to everyone.
Has this meant as much as Royal Ascot? More? How would it compare?
Oh, look, I said to a few people yesterday, I think it means more, because Royal Ascot, we were there, it was fresh, it was new, it was almost like it was half expected. We sort of had her back against the wall a little bit for this one. She'd had a couple of runs here. People, not us, we didn't doubt her, but people were sort of doubting her a little bit and where she was at. We knew she was going well, but she sort of needed to stand up and prove it, and for her to do that yesterday was really tremendous.
7 years old with that many air miles as well, to come and do that. And Matt and I were just chatting, we were saying it never looked like anything else was ever going to win the race. She was the only winner at any point, really.
Yeah, I've had a chance to digest it now and watch the replay a few times, obviously, which I didn't yesterday, but Lovely, in fairness. Did a great job. So we were at a cross moment yesterday. If she hadn't have won or at least run really well, we were probably packing our bags and going home. And I didn't really want it all to be over, to be honest. She's allowed us to party.
Now listen, the line's not great, Henry, but I've got to ask you about what this means for not just you but the whole team. And Chanel, who's been with her for so long, and I know Amy and Lemos who've helped you out as well. It's a big group effort, this, isn't it?
Oh, massive. We first came over sort of, I suppose, 2 months prior to Haydock last year, and Amy and Lemos have just been our absolute rock, and they've shown us the way and how to train a horse in Newmarket, and that's been the biggest part of it. Like, for me, not the winning of races or whatever, just being immersed in Newmarket and enjoying the experience, and Chanel to be here at the whole time. It's a big effort by her. She's got stuff going on at home, and she's sort of put that aside and been here. So yeah, big thanks to Lemos and Amy, obviously, but Chanel mainly for sure.
Henry, could she come back and try and defend her crown next year or not?
Look, it's not beyond the realms. Akram just wants to. He said to me before she came over last year, he just wants to. And she's a racehorse. These good mares, they don't often go to stud and produce a lot, to be honest. So her value might be on the racetrack. Now, she's been pretty patiently raced early. She might have had, 26, 27 starts now, but she's in good order. She's sound. She's obviously wants to be there. When she tells us she wants to put the cue in the rack, then obviously we'll pull the pin. But for the time being, we're probably happy to keep racing her, to be fair.
And just finally, Henry, I don't know how good a night out you had, but you seem to, just by the backdrop, have ended up in a sort of backyard of a house in York. I mean, are you meant to be where you are?
Almost looks like a prison, doesn't it? But
yeah.
It's not, I can assure you.
Don't start the convict thing. I got into all sorts of trouble with that down under.
York was terrific last night. We had a ball and ended up at Pop World, which was great fun.
As many do.
Most certainly where I'm meant to be anyway.
Henry, you're a star. Well done. Thanks so much.
How are you, Nick? Thanks, Matt.
Henry Dwyer.
Good man, isn't he?
He is a good man, but he.
Better than this tractor.
Better than this tractor.
Yeah,
and if you can see, we're about to be.
They'll do anything to try and bring down the pod, won't they?
You can tell the track's taking a good bit of racing now. But Matt, you've got to go and do the opening show, so you can tell us what's going to win today.
I mean, I read in the paper today that tipping Hip Hop de Loire in the Ebor is a little bit like tipping the favourite in the Grand National when the favourite for the Grand National is 2-1 or something. But despite the fact that Ruby Walsh tells me that Ethical Diamond will beat Hip Hop de Loire, look, that horse, I don't think you can categorically say Hip Hop would have won last year with a clear run, but would have definitely been a close second or third.
Diamond's a bit of a sucker punch horse, isn't he? He always lures people in, and always has done.
I think Hip Hop could win this on the bridle.
Do you?
Oh yeah. I mean, he was literally knocked sideways last year. 103, up £3. I don't think that's going to make any difference. But as you know, Nick, in this game, if you manage to find Hip Hop de Loire, no one is going to care. So it's one of those ones, doesn't really matter, does it?
All right, you've written a column today in The Sun about pacemakers, which is the hot topic of the season because they've basically been a bit of a shambles all year. King George, Prince of Wales, Sussex Stakes, and now the Juddmonte International.
Well, it's not only when they have performed, it's when they haven't been there, because we go back to the 2,000 guineas.
There was quite a debate at dinner last night. Should pacemakers be banned? Should the jockeys be had in for failing to ensure the best possible placing? It was quite a lively debate.
Okay, this is very simple. Firstly, it's almost impossible to prove any horse is a pacemaker. Secondly, if you're basing it on the performances of Beer Castle and Kieran, and the argument is pacemakers, like any other horse, should be doing their best to win the race. These are two horses who've just performed the best performance of their life. So they're really bad examples of pacemakers to take out of the game when they've just put up the performances of their life. If your argument is they're not in there doing their best, the logic slightly stops at that point. So, look, it's all nonsense. Pacemakers are not always going to work. Nothing in racing always works. Sometimes they'll be a pain. Sometimes they'll be useful.
We have had a stunning run of ineptitude, haven't we?
It has been the year of the crap pacemaker. But,
and of course, one of them is one of them going to win a Group 1 without being a pacemaker this afternoon, Kieran. He was 20-1 yesterday.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think he's got any chance whatsoever.
Okay, so how's that going to run?
I think Rosalian's easily the best horse.
The City of York. It's been a long week.
To be fair, you only got in an hour ago.
There's a wasp there. Don't let it sting you.
Don't worry. I think Rosalian's just miles the best, most talented horse in that race, and it doesn't matter the furlong back, provided there haven't been any issues that we don't know about.
Have you told Sean Levy how to do it today?
I think
you normally like to give him a bit of advice.
Yeah, on the snaff. Just travel strongly behind the pace. It doesn't need to be ridden by Lake Forest to be ridden. Just behind the pace, come through strongly, and then get up to your 6 and don't go over.
All right, perfect. Have you got to go and do the opening show?
I mean,
all right?
I can see Ollie Bell in the... He doesn't look that worried at this stage, to be honest.
Look, just have a look. He's beckoning.
He's over there, look.
There he is. He was a great addition to the podcast this week.
He is one that pulls out looking pristine.
There's Adrian Cam, look.
Doesn't matter what debauchery Ollie's been up to.
This is a big edition of the opening show if Adrian Cam's there.
Yeah. There's Jonesy.
Yeah, the floor manager. She's beckoning
Adrian.
you over. Ken Kidston in
Georgie makeup, which is probably something you should have considered before. This YouTube is not good for you, I have to say. You are much more radio, aren't you? Really?
Well, I don't know. I'm happy to have a
because on NBC you have a lot of makeup.
A lot of makeup, a lot of makeup. Yeah. Like David, what was
when
he called?
When you next doing that cake thing in the middle of
was he called David Dickinson?
I know what you're going to say. Yeah.
But he'd be your sort of shade.
The antique
he'd be your sort of shade, wouldn't
he? Yeah.
Bargain Hunt. That was him, wasn't it?
Can you do that in a Frankham accent?
Well, no, because he doesn't sound like John Frankham.
Okay, do it in a Hendo accent. Any accent. Just something that might amuse the listeners.
I'll tell you what we might do now, which will undoubtedly...
You're struggling with the words today.
Undoubtedly amuse the listeners. We are going to hear from our friends at Timeform.
Oh, what could be more exciting?
Day 3 of the Ebor Festival done and dusted. Quick Timeform roundup for today's action. We'll start with the Nunthorpe. Asfoora, the only Group 1 winner in the field. And... She was a bit disappointing last year when only 4th, but she's bounced right back to the sort of form she was showing on these shores last year when she won at Royal Ascot. Showed a really smart turn of foot. She got a beautiful toe into the race from Night Raider, quickened up smartly, and we're looking around roughly 118 what she's performed to. Now 120 is her best in Britain. She's already favourite for the Flying 5 next month, and she definitely looks the one to beat there. The Timeform standard for the Curragh very much on a par with York. And really, it doesn't look like anything's going to beat her there. Granted, quick ground. She probably wouldn't want the ground too soft. And then the remainder of the card was really informative 2-year-old races. We'll start with the Jim Crack. The first 2 pulled a long way clear. Now, it did look a bit of a subpar renewal on paper. The favourite was a bit disappointing in 3rd, but has been beaten by 2 promising types. The form of the race is around standard. We're looking at around 1-1-10 for the winner. But it is a pretty average year with the 2-year-olds. There's no standout at the minute. The likes of Gustard around 111. So lifespan might be underestimated in the middle park. He's around 10-1 shot anti-post at the minute, and that looks to be a bit of value, I think. It was really impressive how he ran down the runner-up, who also improved a chunk. Probably 2 promising 2-year-olds who could still end up towards the head of that tree. And quick word for the Convivial as well. Usually a strong maiden. Will was only 5th in this last year. It went to another Aidan O'Brien raider this time around. But a quick mention for a couple of Northern trained horses who I thought shaped quite well with a view to the future. Inish Beg's a lovely looking horse. He looked quite badly and needed a run beforehand, and he's shaped that way as well. Keep an eye out for him in future. He's a half brother to the same connections, Volterra. He could be quite exciting going forward. And Red Spell's danger for the Timmy's to be had as well. He's a really big shell of a horse. Surprised he's done quite so well so early in his 2-year-old career. He's one to really keep on side of. He's a 3-year-old in the making. He'll win plenty of races for connections. It'll definitely prove strong form. So plenty from the Convivial to put in your tracker.
All right, thank you to our friends at Timeform for all their help this week. And don't forget, of course, the Timeform Quick Card is available here if you're coming to York for the Skybet Ebor Festival, day 4. It's been a fun week. I hope you've enjoyed this bonus Saturday podcast, which we've been doing at all the festivals. And if you've been watching on YouTube, I hope you've enjoyed that as well. With YouTube coverage of all our festivals this year through Ascot and Goodwood and York. And hopefully we'll bring you a few more before the end of the year. All right, what's been moving today in the markets? Let's check in with the trading room at Fitzdares.
Hey Nick, it is Ebor Day on the Knavesmire, and at Fitzdares we are paying extra places in 4 of the 7 races, including of course in the big one, the 3:35 Ebor Handicap. And the Ebor Handicap is the only place to start, with Willie Mullins looking to hold all the aces here as he usually does. Hip Hop de Loire at 10-3 heads the betting for Willie Mullins, ran really well in this race last year, was a little bit luckless in running, wasn't beaten far by Magical Zoe on the day, finishing 5th. Comes here just £3 higher, and Colin Keane takes the ride. That will be one we are keen to avoid here in the office. Willie Mullins, of course, won this race in 2024 with Absurd, an ethical diamond at 6-1, runs in those same colours this afternoon. A Royal Ascot winner in ultra impressive fashion. The step up in trip should suit, and he's still unexposed on the flat. Another Royal Ascot winner in the field here is French Master at 12-1 for the Gosdens. Couldn't quite cut it in Group 1 company at Goodwood, but will find the pace of this much more to his liking back in handicap company, and he'll certainly be doing his best work come the finish. Al-Mashir at 14-1 is one we've seen some interesting money for at Fitzdares HQ. Moved to Carl Burke this season and runs here for the first time since a gelding operation that is expected to yield improvement. Enemy at 25-1, trained by Ian Williams, is another to look out for, coming in off a nice mark, but would be another one that we're keen to avoid as a bogey in the book for us. For all your bets on the Ebor, head to fitzdares.com. Have a cracking day and good luck, whatever you fancy. Cheers, Nick.
All right, that was Lola at Fitzdares. Thanks to them for all their help and support during the course of the week. Now, Liz Price has worked for many organisations in racing, and she's been a constant fixture in the press room since I've been doing this job. She's also the most well-travelled member of the press room, and as I found out when chatting to her yesterday, she's putting that to good use with a new venture. All right, Liz, well, you've taken the plunge. It's an intrepid new venture. I'm particularly enjoying following it on your Instagram feed. Liz Price Escapes, hopefully not from us forever, but what is Liz Price Escapes and why have you started it?
Liz Price Escapes is a travel business, which I started because racing has taken me around the world for many years. I've been to the most amazing places. It's taken me to countries I would have never gone to without racing. And every time when I have travelled, I would take some extra time just to see what else was available in the country or what was fun, which adventures. And so over the years, people have always asked me about and said, you know, where can we go? And I just thought, well, why don't I start a business where I tell people and take them around the world?
See, I love it because it's quite often if you're on the international circuit, and people I'm sure would be very envious, and I know what a great life we have being able to go to all these great meetings around the world, but if you're not careful, you see racecourses and the inside of hotel rooms, and you've got to get out there and adventure. And so I guess what you're doing is you're just making it a little bit easier for people to find their way around, find the best things to do, and make the most of the countries they're going to and enrich their lives.
Yeah, absolutely, because we all know how much time you can waste on the internet just looking for the right hotel, the right trip, where to go, which restaurant and everything. And I want to make that easy. I want to take all that stress out of it, because it's already stressful if it is your horse that's running somewhere and then you have to think, okay, what else can we do? It's so much easier if I just come in and I say, okay, for instance, you say to me, I'm going to the Breeders' Cup this year. I run a horse in Delmar, and I want to spend some extra days, and then I can create an itinerary and, for instance, say, okay, why don't you go over and see the Grand Canyon? It's not very far. Or you could jump on a plane and go to Hawaii for a few days or something.
And then you'll know the right hotels and restaurants,
exactly.
And you build up that kind of list of things for people to do and see and
yes.
eat and whatever.
Yeah, and I also do it the other way around. So if you say to me, I want to take my family to Chile, let's say, and I go, oh, have you been to the Chilean Derby? And then I would tell you, where to go and enjoy that experience and put that into the program of your travel.
Okay, top 3 places that Liz Price has been on a racing adventure where you can best combine an unusual or interesting racing experience with something really culturally enriching. Places I wouldn't think of off the top of my head. Chile, I suspect, is probably
I
one
was
of them,
going to say,
isn't it?
so Chile is definitely the number one if you ever have the opportunity, because Chile is such a great country. You can go to the Atacama Desert, which is unreal. It's a moonscape landscape. You can go riding there, and then you can go to the Chilean Derby. It falls in February. It's an amazing race day, 29 races. You start at 9 o'clock in the morning.
29 races.
You start at 9 o'clock in the morning.
And they bitch about 9 race cards here.
I know, but it's really good fun because their hospitality is amazing. And so Chile would definitely be top of the list. And then let's go to a different country where I'm sure you've already been to. I know that you said I should come up with something you haven't thought about, but
I'd be interested.
but something like the Durban July.
I've never been to South Africa.
There you go. So the Durban July, an amazing meeting. It takes place in July, as the name.
Yes.
the name
Got that one.
suggests. And obviously you can go on safari. I mean, how great is that? You go racing for a day. It's an amazing atmosphere because the cultural background is fascinating. They have fashion shows and totally different to ours, I can tell you. And then you go just outside of Durban, you go on a safari for 3 days. That's a pretty good
Sounds
combination.
good. I like that.
Isn't
Yep,
it?
that's excellent. I'm getting all these on the bucket list.
Very good. And let's say, the racing is special, but it is interesting. How about Panama?
Yeah, wow.
How about going?
So what's the Panamanian racing scene like?
Well, it's not like Chile, it's not like South Africa or something, but it's still they have very few horses, so they run against each other all the time.
But of course, they produce some of the greatest jockeys.
Exactly. So it's just fun. It's a fun day, you know. Yeah, and then you can sail through the Panama Canal. That's pretty special, and explore that part of the world.
Right. If you want to do any of this, Liz Price Escapes is what you need to check out. Look at Liz's Instagram feed, and you'll see her in some weird and wonderful places. It's offering plenty of entertainment. Get in touch, and you can enjoy not only racing around the world, but the best experiences as well. Liz, I wish you all the best with it. It sounds amazing. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much for having me. Thanks.
Oh, very best of luck to Liz. I was talking to her here at York yesterday. Back here with us now, live on the track with Steve Cooper, who runs all the food and beverage here on the Naves. We've spoken on the podcast many times before. We can see you now, Steve, which is very nice.
Yeah, nice to see you as well, Nick. Nice to see you in person.
Good to have you here in person, as you were saying. How's the week been?
We've had a fabulous week. We've really enjoyed everything that's been going on. Lots and lots of hospitality guests and lots of people enjoying the new Nunthorpe development at the bottom end there as well. Fabulous.
What's that? That's about a year old now, isn't it?
Yeah, it's about a year old now, and it's just wonderful. There's a fabulous local Theakston's bar down there. We've got a chippy down there, potatoes from Kimmerston Farm. Yeah, it's good.
What's been popular this week?
Well, everything's been popular, but we've had quite a lot of lobster go on.
Have you?
It's it's Ebor, it's opulent. So we've had some lobster that comes in. That's landed at North Shields. So that's gone pretty well.
I know Provenance is very important to you here, isn't it?
Yeah. So the strawberries come locally from Garforth, from Annabelle's, and they've been on everything that we could use them for because it's a short life. So. We had Tom Barnes, Michelin star chef, here for the first time earlier this week, and
Lovely.
He had some nicely compressed Annabelle strawberries on his dessert. Yeah, it's just been such a cross section of everybody enjoying racing. It's been great.
And today is busy. It's a different crowd, but it is busy, very busy.
Today is busy. It's the biggest crowd of the week. We look forward to it. Yeah, it's fun, isn't it?
Fantastic. And how's the team spirit? Is everyone still rolling, or is anyone starting to flag?
No, I think to be honest with you, the team here at York, they're very keenly spirited to deliver every day.
Good.
We're heading towards the end of the season. We've only got 3 or maybe 4 race days left after this, which is a shame because everybody really loves working here. Honestly, the local teams that come and help us out are just fabulous.
Well, it's fantastic to see you, and we will hopefully do it all over again next year.
Yeah, nice.
Brilliant.
Thanks,
Steve Cooper, who's running the food and beverage here on the Naves. Getting ready for our 4th and final day. Do rejoin us on Monday when the podcast will resume normal service. Thank you for watching if you've been with us on YouTube during the course of the week. Thanks to all my guests, to Charlotte for all her hard work, and to Luca as well. We'll see you again next time. Bye for now. You've been listening to Nick Luck Daily. This episode has been brought to you in association with Timeform, your trusted source for racing data and analysis, by Total Performance Data, the world leader in thoroughbred performance technology, and by Fitzdares.